Guys, it is bad out here. The market is absolutely taking a hit. The S&P 500 this week almost dipped below 400. I do think 400 is going to be a strong support level, but honestly, this is something we really want to talk about. People are freaking out. People's retirement portfolios. Maybe you have a retirement portfolio you've been working on for 30 years, and you're really concerned about retiring in the next few years. So I want to give some helpful information to you and anybody else at any point in their financial career. But it's pretty hot and windy outside, so let's go to my desk and talk about it. So the market has tanked considerably. SPY is at $404. I'll throw it up here on this camera here. Get it there. And basically everyone I know that has, been following me as a trader or an investor has been asking me, what should I do? Should I be buying? Should I be selling? Right? Should I be leaving tech? Should I be going into gold and silver? These safer investments. And I'm going to break this video down into two parts. One, so I'm going to tell you, what I think most people should do, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing, right? And then maybe just my random musings after that. But before all that, of course, I do appreciate you stopping by my channel. Please go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. If you like the setup, the studio, the 3 different camera angles, trying to mix it up for y'all, do some creative stuff, you know what it is. My name is Forrest, I invest this stuff, and you should too. But in any case, let's talk about what people should do, right? So if you look at any chart, and I'll actually pull this back up on my phone since I have it right here. Let's use the S&P 500, and let's go to the monthly chart. We'll zoom way out. And I'm going to put this horizontal, hope that this will come up on my screen. It might not be able to, but basically what you can do is if you open this chart up, maybe on your own device, and a good website is tradingview.com, right? If you want to view these time series or just any trading app. I really like TradingView. I use TradingView for charting, things like that. But we can see that back in, what date was this? May 31st. What the time period was this? 2021. Yeah. So in basically March of 2021, right? 2020, there was a big dip, right? And that was due to COVID. And if you would have bought at this dip, today you would be up like a madman, right? The value of this index was down at 200. And today it's up to 400. You just doubled your money in 2 years. Now, due to the most recent bull runs, and I'll put this chart up on the screen here. Again, come on, get in focus, get in focus. We can see there's a big old dip there, kind of in the middle of this timeline. So what does that mean for you today, right? You should be buying. We always want to be buyers as investors, right? The act of investing is really the act of buying, right? When you are actually investing in things, you have to actually spend money. You have to accumulate something with the goal of selling it later, right? So if you're selling things at a loss, first and foremost, you have to ask yourself some important questions. Why am I selling at a loss? Am I selling at a loss because my investment thesis has changed, right? If you're selling at a loss because the entire stock market is down and you're concerned about whether you made the right choices, you have to realize that that is a systemic risk, right? You're basically saying, I don't believe in the future of America, so I'm going to take my money and turn it into cash because there's a better alternative, right? The only reason you should be selling is if you think that there's a better alternative for your money. But the way that inflation is right now, I do not think that is the case. I think it's probably best to leave your money in the market. I would not have too much cash on hand, right? I have a decent amount of cash on hand right now, funnily enough. Because I got to pay the IRS. But truth be told, we should be buying. Being a buyer is the best way to make money. Dollar cost averaging is highly effective. What you're really probably feeling right now is some serious pain. I'm not going to lie to you guys. My portfolio is down big. All my long-term portfolio is down big. But trading and people who are traders are still making decent money, and that's okay. Being down today, this is going to be a really good lesson for you if you're, I'm 31 now.
Damn.
If you're someone younger than me, then you certainly haven't been through an economic downturn, right? When I was graduating college, that was when, 2008-09 happened. So I graduated into an environment, really a recession, right? It was super scary. Luckily, I was a software engineer, so my job was in demand. But I know a lot of people for years after college who cannot get jobs, and that's a whole other topic, right? But really, if you have a stable job and you have income, you should be buying. You're not going to get better prices than this, guys, right? If you're thinking about, the long-term outcome, or your goals as an investor, or really what you should be looking for, you're looking for good buying opportunities. And that is now. Now, you probably have other things that you're concerned about, right? If you have a family, if you incur some debt and you're banking on, always being able to sell some of your stocks or something like that to pay down some of those things, maybe that math has changed for you, right? If you had 10K and now it's 7K and an emergency comes up and you sell some of that, that's $3,000 off the table. Makes sense. That's always going to happen. You're going to feel the pain of that earlier in your investing career, right? So as you start to grow your snowball, you have to take things out, moving around. You're going to feel that a lot more earlier. But once you get 5 years into the game, 10 years into the game, it's going to matter much less. One of the things that, I've dealt with recently, or the experience that I've had, is, I've incurred significant losses, more so than ever in my investing and trading career. And it's just something that everyone has to deal with. I'm not going to front with you guys. Losing hundreds of thousands of dollars feels terrible. Feels fucking bad. But I'm fine. I'm literally fine, guys. I'm good. Got money in the bank, still got a couple $100,000 on deck. We're doing solid. So still trading, life is good. And that's the point that you will get to too. You will. You just have to stay in the game. I'm buying everything that I can. Crypto, right? So I'm buying crypto. I did another video talking about, what I think we should do in this crypto market. Definitely doubling down on crypto. Ethereum is right around, the 2K mark. Ethereum's been over like $3,000 for a while. I mean, you honestly think it's not going to get back, at the end of this down cycle, however long it is, even if it's 3 years, being able to double your money inside of 5 years is insane, guys. I think a lot of people don't understand because of how crazy the last bull market was, how good these returns are. But being able to double your money inside of 5 years is nuts. It's not normal. And you can still do that, right? You're not going to get a better time to buy than now. And a lot of you are going to wait until the market jumps up by 50%. And you go, oh, okay, now it's safe to invest. Doesn't make any sense. Buy now, buy while things are low, get in. You're not going to find a better price. And in 2, 3, 5, 7 years from now, you'll be thanking me, as many others have. Pat myself on the back for that one. But that's what you should be doing, right? Near term and long term. Hopefully, and I haven't talked about this in a while, you should have an emergency fund already. It can be harder in times of economic downturn to build up that emergency fund, right? I totally get that. When things are tight, you don't have excess money to put away. And I've been there, guys. I've been to the point in my life where it's like I didn't have enough money to just put some in the bank, and so I was only hustling. Every dollar that I had, I said, look, I'm trying to flip this. I'm trying to flip this dollar. I'm not saving it, right? I don't have enough bandwidth to save money. I think that's a real thing a lot of people don't talk about, is maybe all you can do is hustle, right? If I only got $1,000, I might not only want to keep that in the bank. I might be like, look, I'm going to risk my 1,000 turning into 2. I really don't want to recommend everybody do that. You need to make smart decisions for you. Only you know what you can do. I put all my trust in me, always. I'm far riskier than probably anyone watching this video, guaranteed, especially if you know me in real life. My risk tolerance is astronomical. Right? I will put my entire net worth on the line at any point for something that I believe in. And that's worked out. And it's also not worked out sometimes. But it's got me to where I am, and I'm pretty happy with my results. But for most people, you don't want to be, pulling your hair out, losing your freaking mind. or, causing stress in your relationships, not being able to feed your kids, things like that. You need to manage your risk appropriately. So don't get mad at me, lose all your money. I do give out financial advice. I'm not going to sit back and say, this isn't financial advice. I think that's BS. People get on here all the time and tell people exactly what they do and try to build a brand for themselves without telling people what to do. So I am telling you what I think you should do. And I think you should do it carefully, with your own risk factor in mind, right? So write it down, enumerate them, understand why you're thinking, understand why you're afraid of things that you're afraid of, understand what it is that people who are wealthy are doing, and how close can you get to that, right? People who have money are investing, they're spending their money, they're accumulating assets while they're cheap. So you need to be moving in a similar way, right? You need to be replicating that good behavior so that you can start to accumulate some assets and a snowball for yourself. Doesn't matter where you are at any point in your life. Again, being able to get, I think people are going to be really, really surprised at how when the market does bounce back, even if it takes 3 years, if we're in a recession for 3 years, then that fourth year, the value of the index doubles. Everybody who has money invested is going to double their money. They're going to seem like geniuses. Meanwhile, you were running around scared, with your head in your pants because you didn't want to put any money in the market. But the only way you make money is if your money is in the market, and doubling your money, whether it's now in 4 years, if it takes 4 years to double money that's invested today, you're not doing it anywhere else. I promise you that. So get it done, unless you have a business or something like that, right? So that's what you should be doing. What I'm doing, again, I talked about it, doubling down on some of my favorite investments. Ethereum, I've been buying some Ethereum. I want to accumulate some more Bitcoin. I haven't bought any more yet. No real reason for that. I can't say that I like Ethereum more than Bitcoin. The Ethereum ecosystem, maybe I do like it more than Bitcoin. The Ethereum ecosystem is bigger, right? It is used as kind of the back end for a few things at this point, NFTs, etc. And so I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it has a solid second place. Hope I'm right. And also Omi. So I've shot a few videos on Ecomi. You can look it up. Kind of just, I really don't like some of the people who put out content in the Ecomi space, unfortunately. I'm not going to say them by name, but their channels are very, very low information, high entertainment value, tons of speculation. I think that's okay. I do think that the company itself, it's one of the few people or organizations that has solid IP, and is putting out true NFTs and has a nice roadmap for it, which is why I invest in it, right? So I've just broken. I have 20 million Omi at this point. I'll probably deepen that a little bit more. It's super duper cheap at this point. The entire crypto market crashed. So I'm just accumulating. I'd like to get to maybe like 25 or 30 million, but I don't want to be too deep in that. I'm pretty deep in that investment already. I mean, the value of that before it crashed was over 100 grand. And I think it's right around like 34, 35 grand right now. So buying a bunch of Ecomi, and I'll be looking for probably a new, I'm only in like 4 or 5 cryptos at the moment. I'll be looking for maybe a new thing to break into, maybe diversify a little bit, but, again, I don't think over diversifying yourself is good if your goal is to catch a breakout. I should probably do a whole video on that. I mean, there's so much thought process that goes into that. Diversification is good. I want to make that clear. And diversification is the best way to mitigate risk. So if your goal is risk mitigation, diversify. I want to make that very, very clear. If that is not your goal, then you should not be diversifying. I'll leave it at that. But in any case, I think that is it for this topic. I was actually sitting here shooting some reels and really wanted to get, wrap up this video for you all. Again, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. You really should be too, not just financially, emotionally. The world is in a really, really tough time right now. It's a lot of bad things. As I film this today, we're dealing with a shooting that happened down in Texas. I know a lot of hearts are broken and people are trying to internalize and think about how to deal with the ramifications of that. It's important that you take care of your emotional, mental health, and your financial health. All those things are related. Your physical health as well. All those things are related. If one is out of whack, very likely the other will be. If one thing is doing great, more than likely the others will too. So do not discount any aspect of your life. Get it together. If you need help, always feel free to shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment. I'm here to help. But in any case, see you in the next one.